South Korea recently and very quietly secured $950 billion in AI deals. Now, we really need to pause and just let the scale of that land for a second. $950 billion. We're talking about nearly $1 trillion mobilized in a single massive strategic sweep. To put that into perspective, that's roughly equivalent to the entire GDP of a country like the Netherlands. It's an absolutely colossal mobilization of capital. And the most intriguing part of this whole economic maneuver, it's where that money is going. It's not because they're trying to build the next ChatGPT. They aren't throwing capital at the software side that grabs all the daily headlines and VC frenzy. No, they are playing a completely different game.
Which naturally leads us to a massive mystery. How exactly did a relatively small nation of just 52 million people secure nearly $1 trillion in AI deals? It presents such a fascinating dynamic. I mean, how does a country of that size become the ultimate, completely unavoidable toll booth for the sprawling trillion-dollar empires of American tech companies? We've got these massive corporations rushing to build out AI, yet literally every single one of them has to pass through South Korean gates. Figuring out how they engineered this bottleneck is absolutely crucial to understanding the foundation of our modern tech economy, and frankly, who holds the real power when all the software hype eventually fades.
So what's their secret? Well, the answer lies in a highly specialized piece of hardware called HBM, or high bandwidth memory. This is the secret ingredient powering the entire AI revolution. Think about it like this. Imagine an advanced Nvidia AI chip is a highly tuned Ferrari engine. It's got unbelievable potential for speed and performance, but if you hook it up to a fuel line the size of a standard drinking straw, well, that engine is going to stall out immediately. High bandwidth memory is basically the massive fuel line that feeds data to that processor at lightning speeds. It is an absolute, strict, non-negotiable requirement for every single Nvidia AI chip to function. Without it, that world-class, incredibly expensive processor is essentially just a fancy paperweight.
And this creates a stark, glaring vulnerability for the biggest players in the game. I'm talking about industry titans, Google, Meta, and even Nvidia themselves. They're completely paralyzed without access to this specific memory. When you really think about what that means, it's wild. These companies have trillion-dollar market caps, right? They employ thousands of the smartest software engineers on Earth. They have access to virtually infinite troves of training data. But all of that leverage means absolutely nothing if they cannot physically plug these high-bandwidth memory chips into their server racks. They want to train new models and roll out the next generation of AI services, sure. But to actually build those physical data centers, they absolutely need HBM. There is zero workaround here.
Now, here's where it gets really crazy. One single South Korean company, SK Hynix, holds a staggering 62% stranglehold on the global supply of this critical component. The rest of the entire globe combined, just 38%. If you're an investor, a developer, or just someone who uses AI tech, this represents an unbelievable single point of failure in the global supply chain. When one single entity controls nearly 2/3 of the one vital physical component that every tech giant is desperate for, I mean, they don't just have market share at that point. They have unprecedented geopolitical and economic leverage over the entire technology landscape. Because of this iron grip, we're seeing tech leaders quite literally bending the knee. A perfect and kind of ironic illustration of this happened recently on July 24th at a major AI summit in San Francisco. Now, San Francisco is the undisputed heart of the American tech scene, right? Yet this crucial summit wasn't hosted by an American tech CEO or a U.S. politician. It was hosted by South Korea's president and Nvidia's CEO, Jensen Huang, the guy running the most valuable semiconductor company on Earth, flew in specifically to attend. The irony here is just so thick. You have the most powerful tech CEO in America attending a summit in his own backyard, hosted by a foreign leader just to make sure his supply lines remain open. Basically, when the country that holds the keys to your entire supply chain hosts a meeting, you show up.
And let me tell you, that single meeting wasn't just some photo op. It resulted in a historic transfer of wealth that locked in South Korea's dominance on paper. At that event, SK Hynix, again, the guys with the 62% market share, finalized a partnership with Nvidia worth over $500 billion. Let that sink in for a second. $500 billion in a single hardware partnership. And the momentum didn't even stop there. Samsung, another South Korean titan, secured an additional $200 billion deal with Broadcom. The sheer volume of capital flowing straight out of Silicon Valley's software ambitions and directly into South Korea's hardware sector is just monumental. It's fundamentally reshaping the financial realities of the whole tech industry.
So what this all really highlights is the crucial divide between the AI software hype and the AI hardware reality. Right now, Silicon Valley companies are locked in this high-risk, high-burn-rate war, pouring billions into capital expenditures, all just hoping their specific language model wins out in the consumer market. But South Korea?
They are completely bypassing that risky hype. Instead, they're executing the classic, highly lucrative strategy of selling shovels during a gold rush, just on a massive, high-tech macroeconomic scale. They are cornering the market on the one physical part that nobody can skip. It's basically a guaranteed return. They get paid handsomely regardless of which software company ultimately wins the AI wars.
To truly grasp the sheer magnitude of this hardware strategy, let's compare it to India for a second. Recently, billionaires Mukesh Ambani and Gautam Adani teamed up and pledged a massive $210 billion to build India's AI backbone. Now, that is a historic, landscape-shifting investment for a rapidly growing country with over 1 billion people. But then, you look at South Korea. With its population of just 52 million, they've signed tech deals worth $950 billion. They quietly locked in deals 4.5 times the size of India's massive national pledge. It perfectly demonstrates how monopolizing a critical physical bottleneck yields this outsized economic power that is completely disproportionate to a nation's actual size.
Ultimately, the reality of the AI revolution boils down to something remarkably simple. Nobody wins this global race without paying the toll to South Korea. No matter who creates the smartest software, and no matter which tech giant develops the most lifelike algorithm, that physical toll must be paid. The infrastructure of tomorrow is literally being built on the memory chips of today. Which leaves us with a pretty fascinating question to ponder as we wrap up this explainer. If a nation of just 52 million people can quietly capture the physical bottleneck of the world's most transformative technology, what other hidden kingmakers are out there right now, just waiting to be discovered in the supply chains of our future?